his Zoom room. Asked him on in his because he wears a lot of hats. I'm surprised he doesn't have three heads. Asked him on for his role to kind of speak on the Interagency Homeless Council. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Just trying to figure out a miracle how to get you in and out in just a few minutes so we can get to Annette Hogan.
No worries. Well, I think Dr. Felix Cabrera did a great job. I actually want to take all the vaccines. Whatever's available, give me it all. So,
Moderna, Pfizer.
Knowing my luck,
What you got? What you got? What you got?
4%.
What you got? What you got? The guy with the jacket opens the full jacket.
Give me it all.
You want Pfizer?
No, but that was really informative.
Can I get a Pfizer? Can I get a Pfizer? Can I get two Moderna? Two Moderna? Two Moderna? What do you say? Let me get another Pfizer. Hey, let me get.
Do I hear a Pfizer?
So this is to
We'll
get
see.
right.
Maybe I'll get superpowers or something.
Right. I know, right? ESP.
We'll see. But thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It's not a worry. We'll always have time for our friends there at KOAM. So
we wanted to bring you on a couple of days ago when we were singing.
Oh, no comment.
I think he's blushing.
We know you can sing.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Bree.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up because we spoke with the Lieutenant Governor yesterday, but we had a connection issue. And so the public health emergency, right now it expires at the end of this month. The homeless shelter was stood up, paid with CARES funding under this public health emergency. So what happens if the governor does not extend it for another 30 days? Are there any plans?
Yes. So the great news is Adelup actually has identified money for a permanent shelter. So we're going to actually be addressing this in our meeting tomorrow. So we actually were able to get funding, specific targeted funding source for that. So we're excited about that. The issue that we're having is that there's not available apartment units or warehouses. We're still looking. We've actually actively been looking, and we're just looking for fair price and unfairness, especially from the people who want to rent it to us for in the time being. But we're not seeing that, or we're not seeing the available amount that we need to actually stand up a space. There's only 1, 2, 3 units, and we actually need more than that. We still have a wait list at the shelter, I believe. And my numbers now that I think the report I got a few days ago, there are now more children in the shelter than there are adults. So I think there's 56 children total. So there's families in there. They all have, their guardians, their parents with them, but it's the state of reality here. So one of the things that I think we were able to get from talking with a lot of the NGOs that deal with the homeless is we were able to have them line up, give a barrier to what's going on. So, transportation was the main one. The second one was the lack of affordable housing. They had choice locations. They need help in deposits. They had concerns for safety, and then wraparound services. So I think we have our marching orders on where we want to start and get going. We actually had a great discussion a few days ago with a daughter of Guam who lives in Hawaii, who actually worked with the Lieutenant Governor there on the homeless issue. And as you know, Hawaii has a major homeless issue there. So she's a daughter of Guam. I believe her name is Amber Liam Guerrero. She did a great job. She's now she's in the educational services, but she was able to share a lot of insights of the things they're facing. And one of the things that kind of shocked us was a lot of them are homeless because of medical issues, medical debt and stuff. So it really shows the gravity of the situations when people go somewhere or have to really face these major health issues that, they rather live. And that's the best part, do your best to stay alive because, and I think I don't know if they regret making some of those medical decisions, but it shows that there's a need for healthcare and affordable care. So there are things that we're going to be addressing tomorrow's meeting. And, we've also requested, I know that I saw a story about the educational services getting for those children. I know in the first half of the group, they do have hard copies and some have access. And then now that it jumped, we actually made requests for additional laptops and support. So, it's just going through the pipes and trying to get the hard part of the shelters in one place, but all those kids go all over and in different grades. So it's now trying to get those support services into that specific area there. But it's been a daunting task, but it's something we're up to. And so we're looking at it. So we're probably gonna keep at it as long as we can with the cares, and then transition them. Hopefully we can get the permanent shelter up and running very soon.
So if this is not, if the public health emergency is lifted at the end of this month, will you just keep them there at the shelter they're at in, is it Vergara, Tizen, Mongmong area? And use the local funding?
Yeah. I believe that's a decision for Homeland and a few others. I would certainly like to leave them there because it's an available space right now. But I know that there's ideas for the warehouse using it's a drop-in type bed for the night services, which is sorely needed because we're seeing a lot more. And actually, as a mayor last week, I've encountered a few more people who ended up on the streets because either they dealt with family issues or they just, we're coming up to the ending of the moratorium on the evictions. The unemployment stuff's running out. So, we're hoping and praying people prioritize paying those bills and stuff, but we understand the situations as well. So, we're probably going to face that steep climb very soon, depending on what's there. And we're trying to prevent a lot of these things that are happening. So it's every agency that can help is being asked to really revisit some of the policies and procedures they have. I know with the mortgage assistance and everything else. So it's everybody just trying what we can to make do. So it is critical. And I know we're pressing for a plan to kind of address this because we don't know what's looming there. And we won't know until people actually start getting these evictions and start making it known that the suffering's there. And it sucks because it's the holiday season too. And, there's so much stress on a parent and there's so much stress on an individual.
And there's going to be a surge, Mayor. There's going to be a surge of homeless in January.
Yes. And so it's, we talked with the Homeless Coalition about the point in time count, and even that has been reworked. I believe they're just going to use the 2019 numbers, or they're being allowed to use some of the 2019 numbers, and they're still trying to figure out other ways. But 2019 wasn't as many as what we're probably going to see in 2020. So we have to find a way to kind of catch all that in a way. So
do you recall the 2019 numbers?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm actually still at home, so it's at my office. I do have a binder that has all the information, but
it was surprisingly high.
It was, and what's important is they use a form which helps get them input into a homeless management information system, which helps track what services and what they can and can't do. So that's the key part, I think, for our area as mayors, and having those forms available. So once we encounter somebody who is homeless, that to get into that system, because then it can actually give us a true picture of this. So we're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about it in January as well. This discussion is not going to go away, but we're trying to figure out to prepare for that surge in people making these requests for assistance. So, I'm hoping people in the holiday season really take a look at their neighbor and understand what they're going through. And there's a lot of stresses out there. I can't make that point enough that, and I'm concerned for the suicide rates too. And so there's things that our people are suffering. And I think we just have to find a way to do this. And the federal government has to act, seeing that $908 billion being discussed, and whether we're going to get it, whether we're not going to get it, or I'm a part of it, and what it actually addresses. But there is a group of people that's not actually getting assistance, and that's one of the things that we talked about. Because if you're either end of the spectrum, sometimes there's people there who had 2 jobs because they needed to make it eat, and now that they couldn't apply for PUA because they already had a specific job, but it's not enough, so they're falling behind. Where do they get the help and stuff like that? Because in a nice world, it'd be great that people only have to have 1 job and can afford the cost of living. But a lot of people had 2 jobs, so they didn't qualify for a lot of things. And some people applied for the PPP, and some people are applying for rental assistance, and these businesses have reduced hours. So there's so much that goes into it. It's very technical.
Mayor, we
but
have
there are a lot of people.
sorry, we have a comment. How
Yeah.
can people submit donations for the homeless shelter specifically?
They can contact Catholic Social Services directly if they're food donations or snack donations. We during the Halloween time, a lot of people did come out and gave the kids candy and treats, and it was great. And we've been getting donations from the different civic groups and clubs, which was very nice. You know, they give chips and water here and there, but there is a process to do that with Catholic Social Services. And you know, that's kind of where they're looking at now on it. So that we appreciate that, because I haven't heard anything about any kind of gift giving or Christmas for things for them there. So you know, just they like board games. They like playing with, talking with each other, and just imagine being in an enclosed space with your family for a very long period of time, and pretty much the only place they go is right outside the building, or some that actually go, but they have to come back at a certain time. But
Right.
Catholic Social Services has been doing a tremendous job with that, and we've been referring people up there, and people have been moving out too. So we've actually been getting some successes with them rejoining their family, or finding a job and working on that. But it's keeping at it and maintaining that is what we're looking at. So we know there's a wait list, and I really just wish we had more available spaces to put some of these folks, and that's kind of the reality we're facing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I guess that meeting is going to be a one to definitely watch. And I think you're right. With or without this declaration of an emergency, we are dealing with a serious problem, and it's only going to get worse at the end of this month.
Right, but I think the silver lining is that although it wasn't as quick as a lot of us wanted to, we were able to put a dent in homelessness on Guam with the standing up of this shelter.
But it shows how hard it is just to get available space. So it's not like we weren't working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just finding these empty spaces. I was like, man, can't we just buy up an old hotel or something? And it's a logistical nightmare apparently for that one. I was like, there's the Verona that's available, or the old Pedro's Plaza.
There you
But
go.
they're like, that's not that easy, Mayor.
Right, yeah.
So,
if
yeah.
only. Thanks, Mayor. We got to
Yeah,
run.
only.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Take care.
of course.
See ya.
Right on. Senate Mayor Robert Hoffman. Man, we have a net again, public health. We're going in on the vaccine.